Hello YouTube. Hi guys, welcome to this video. I've been asked a few times about the values of setting font values, whether they should be set in pixels, EM, or REM. And REM was released with CSS 3. Now I'm going to break this down, and hopefully at the end of this video you guys will have a better understanding of each value and when to use each and when not to. Pixel-based font was from the beginning of the web. The reason why Pixel was chosen, it's a safe font system. So if I set 12 pixel, it will display 12 pixels on my laptop, my desktop, my iPad, and my mobile phone without a problem. However, the downside to pixels is we've all created websites, but I don't know, but I've created a few websites already where we have that enlarge the font feature where the user can enlarge their font and make the font bigger if they can't recognize it, especially for elderly people. With Pixel, that's not possible. So what the browsers do, like Firefox, Google, Internet, and especially Internet Explorer, they embed a zoom feature. So when the user tries to make the font larger, it zooms the entire page in, and that distorts the entire aspect of your website and the viewing experience. It doesn't come out as you intended them to. So that changes everything. Now we move on to EM. EM is a font, and a font value that will allow the user to change the font size, and it will scale up and scale down based on what the user hit. However, EM is a compressed font type, which makes it difficult to develop with, because for every element you'll have to set separate values, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm gonna jump into my text editor here. So on the H1 tag, I set 50 pixels. On the paragraph tag, which is inside the H1 tag, I set 20 pixels, as you can see here. Now let's change this to an EM values, and I know 1 EM equals 10 pixels, so this would be 5 EM if we need to display it the same, and this should be 2 EM. Now I'm going to save this. Now EM is a parent-based font. The fact that I have the paragraph tag located inside the H1 tag, even though this value for this text right here is higher than the value for the paragraph text on the screen will be larger than the H1 tag, because what it's doing is doubling the value of this tag. And I'll go out to the browser and I'll show you. There we go. So it's making the font twice as large because it's a parent dependent font, so it's doubling that value and assigning it to itself. And that's a big downside. So if you're developing a website, and let's say we have a structure where we have a div tag where the H1 tag is sitting inside the div tag, then we have the paragraph tag inside the H1 tag, and inside the paragraph tag we have a span tag or a table. For instance, for every single one of those elements, you will have to set a specific font size, and that gets tedious if you're developing a pretty large website. Now REM works the same as the same values of EM with a little difference, and I'll change this to REM. Rather than multiplying the value here, what this does is saying it's going to be 1/3 of whatever this value is. So basically it's assigning itself like a pixel-based font size with the ability to scale up and down. And I'll save this and we'll go out and you'll see what I mean. This looks the same as when we started. Now what's happening here, if we go inside here and let's say we nest a div tag and we give the div tag this 5 pixel value, everything that comes within the div tag will assume it's going to take the same value unless we change it. And let's say we give the H1 tag a 5 pixel value, this tag still maintains the first font size. It doesn't change all over the place as it does with EM. It will still maintain a base font. So let's say we set this HTML to 25 pixels. Everything will be 25 pixels unless we specify otherwise, which makes a much better development experience with this font. The problem is here with REM font is as your site gets larger and you begin to nest multiple REM values across your site, if you're not careful, you could run into problems pretty fast, and it's very difficult to figure out where you went wrong. And that is the only downside to REM I can find. Most of my websites, I would say 95% of my websites, is developed using the REM value rather than any of the other two. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helped. I hope you guys understand the differences, when to use which. In a safe way, I could say use either REM or pixel depending on your design. EM you should only use if you absolutely need to. Thank you. Happy coding.